Oh man, oh man. Welcome back to the Talk podcast. It is your host Jefe. Back for another one. It's been a very busy week. I mean, this week has been it seems like we had a Friday, doesn't it? A lot going on. Let me set the vibes right. We got a lot to talk about tonight. It's a late night shift for me. Busy day, but we're gonna set the vibes right real quick. You know what I mean? My Knicks won today. I'm feeling good. Yo, look, that's the mystery music you put on when you trying to solve a case. With everything going on, it is very interesting on what took place over the last hours, especially after the Kendrick and Drake battle that everyone seems to be completely quiet about as far as industry and things of that nature. So I find it really interesting where everything sits. I heard there's an identified shooter now. I heard that they got a suspect, and we're gonna unpack that tonight. There's a conspiracy going on with Kendrick. So we're gonna unpack a few things here tonight. And I just at the end of the day, I want us to all just have a perspective that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? I think it's a lot of he say, she say. Everyone's kind of leaning on a lot of these entertainers' opinions and what's going on out there in the YouTube world and things of that nature. No pun intended. But at the end of the day, we can figure stuff out, right? Hefe Talk is all about having a boss perspective about life, right? How you analyze things, how you put things in a perspective where you making the right decisions for yourself. So amidst all of this rap battle and things of that nature, how can we use any information from what we learned to benefit us at the end of the day, right? Think about it. How much time we really invested in this rap battle, all this drama. I mean, has it put any money in our pocket? You know what I'm saying? Keep it a buck. What have you gained from this rap battle? Now, I will say for us hip hop heads, hey, we it was a good battle. We was entertained, and I think that's how where we need to leave it at. I think what we're trying to I think there's too many people trying to find different meanings out of this rap battle. I think at the end of the day, we have to start realizing to just leave it at music and entertainment and get back on the game plan, right? Get to your gym regimen, get back to, you know what I'm saying, spending time with your family and your kids. Because one thing I do know, entertainment has a way of keeping people off track. Definitely me, right? I found myself making content around everything, which of course, I got to eat too. Right? But what I'm saying is there's a game plan, right? There's a game plan that we all have to realize that we have to follow at the end of the day. But the question is, do you even have a game plan? Right. So here at the Jefe Talk podcast, I promote positive mindset and just clarity when it comes down to your focus and your goals and looking at it from a boss perspective. So I'm really excited about today's episode. We're gonna unpack a few things here tonight. But number one off top, shout out to the Knicks. Shout out to the Knicks. I mean, my man Jalen. Yo, he had my fan duel bussing. You get what I'm saying? He had it bussing, yo. I really, really appreciate him tonight. He did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the Knicks is looking all right. I ain't gonna hold you. The Knicks is looking all right. I think, they have to tune up a few things. They have to tune up a few things. There was a lot of missed foul shots, right? Looks like the play calling was a little off on certain situations and things of that nature. So I definitely want to make sure that we are keeping a keen understanding that these are still a Knicks at the end of the day. It's still a Knicks at the end of the day. You know how they get, you know how they act. So shout out to my Knicks fans out there. If you guys are watching, make sure you like, subscribe. But I'm super proud of the Knicks. The Knicks held it down. They did their thing. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't too much. It wasn't too much flashiness. They passed the ball. They did what they had to do, and they got the job done, man. They got the job done at the end of the day, right? So apparently there was a new shooter. There's a new shooter who dropped a diss track. Yo, I'm expecting it was another diss track from Drake or Kendrick. The fact that this dude, let me pull it up right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Because when I saw this, I'm like, oh nah, you are tripping. You are tripping. This guy, I'm gonna pull him up so you guys can get an idea of this new person in so-called rap game. and, and he's out here dissing everybody in the industry. Dissing everybody in the industry. And I think it's kind of played out. I think it's another opportunity for somebody to kind of get some, get some clout off of what's going on and things of that nature. And I really think that you got to be creative, man. You people got to come up with a new approach. Um, and I think it's getting played out on how people are coming in this industry thinking they're just gonna, just stay way, this they went, this stay way into the game. Look at this dude.
Give me some lighter fluid. Give me some lighter fluid. Hey, hey, give me some lighter fluid. Kendrick's overrated. J. Cole's a scrub. Gunna's just a low budget version of Young Thug. Kanye a fake Christian, blame everything on the Jews. He just mad nobody purchased his ugly red moon shoes. NBA young boy, you a deadbeat G. You gave all of your 12 baby mamas STDs. Lil Uzi Vert, I know your little booty hurts. Dressed up like a teenage girl in some heels with a Louis purse. People in Philly saying you humiliate the city on TV.
Yo, I don't even want to give this dude any playtime. Like this is trash. Like I'm not even gonna hold you. Like this is trash. Like it's very it's nothing creative about it. He's coming in the rap game talking about everybody. My question is, and it's a fair question. Why isn't he talking about Justin Bieber? Right? Why he's not talking about Jack? Harlow. You get what I'm saying? Like it just don't look right. Nothing against white rappers. Shout out to Eminem and all that, but yo, bro, you come in, got the tattoo, talking about the industry and all this other stuff, but everything you named in your diss track was about black rappers. You get what I'm saying? Like, if we gonna talk about how to fit a narrative, like make it even. Like, come on, you gotta use some common sense because we already know the dominant force in hip hop is black people. Like we're not gonna sugarcoat it. So you come in with this.
You with JT, but on the low, you smashing Diddy. Playboy, Cardi stuffing toys in his butt crack. Alvin and the Chipmunks called and said they want their voice back. Cardi B's a whore, make the Stallions informant. Sexy Red's newborn.
Bro, like, nah, let's see. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's coming in with too much negative energy, especially towards black women in hip hop. I don't think this is gonna fly. I think he kind of, to give him his credit, he timed it pretty pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Because what was funny, Academic was alluding to a new diss track dropping. And everybody know who Academic is all over. You know how much he love. I mean, it's his GOAT. You know, shout out to Academics. But bro, we already knew who you was insinuating when you said a new diss track was dropping. You put it all over the, and it just looked like a media play. It looked like a PR play through the bag, and they dropped this. And I really think it was really tacky. It wasn't no finesse. It wasn't no charisma. It was just, let me just figure out all the negative things I could say about other artists. You get what I'm saying? And I don't think that's how you want to enter the game, right? You're already gonna have targets on your back. You're already gonna have targets on your back. So I'm not even gonna give him any clout. I'm not gonna give him none of that. I'm not giving him no clout, no more shine. But I think it was whack. It's tacky. Probably everybody's seen him already all over social media. You know how it works. You got to pay the outlets. You know what I'm saying? You got to throw them a little bag or something, and then next minute you all over the block outlets. But at the end of the day, what have you gained? Have you gained any traction, publicity? Hey, he wanted the attention. He wanted the attention. But moving on, Drake shooter is identified. Drake shooter is identified. I I find it very, very funny how these headlines are posting everything. And hey, if they identified the shooter, the question is he apprehended? What is the real deal with these news reports coming out? Because I don't know. I feel that the narrative is still kind of swaying towards this is all Kendrick's fault, which I think is whack, is lame. This is a rap battle. He can't control what everybody does. But I think at the end of the day, somebody's going to have to take some type of, higher responsibility. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep saying that music does not ignite fires. Music does not start, you know, over extreme activities, right? At the end of the day, everybody's an adult when it comes down to your actions and what you do. But, music moves people, it provokes people. And apparently they identified Drake's shooter. Let me pull it up right here. They identified Drake's shooter, and you're gonna be surprised who it is. They got him. Nah. So apparently, it looked like it was a white male believed to be a Kendrick fan. And apparently, on this news report, they basically said the shooter was captured on video surveillance footage, described as a white male. Um, and there's more. We were told the police suspect that the man may be a crazed Kendrick Lamar fan. And of course, this gets into the whole rap battle. It gets into, all this other stuff. It says his conditions has taken worse. They're talking about the bodyguard that got shot. Look, at the end of the day, I feel this is all paid media, fed media. It has to be a narrative. It has to be, you know what I'm saying? It has to be something swayed back to Kendrick. And this is what I was talking about on the other pod. Like, Drake feelings is hurt. His legacy is potentially tarnished. It's looking crazy. It's looking crazy right now because what I feel what's going to happen is going to be repercussions, possibly lawsuits, possibly endorsements, things being affected, business moves that the public is not really paying attention to. You know what I'm saying? It's really unfortunate where this is gonna be taken because, like I said, Kendrick, I think he knew something. He knew something, or he was aware of something that was really ugly. It was really nasty, and I feel that he's gonna probably get the worst end of this. Aside from Drake having this on his record, right? Aside from Drake being called a freaky boy every time he goes somewhere, like. Oh man, like that's embarrassing. I'm sorry. Yo, imagine you out with your family and your kids and they just play the track. they play the track like at what point do you go to a location and you're not gonna hear that track? I've been hearing this track every single day since it dropped. People are making TikToks. People, oh man, yo, I'm sorry. One more time, because look, this is the part that I feel that is going to really piss off Drake when he's out with the family. And when this part come up, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. Here we go.
Fan here. Freaky ass nigga here, 69 Dodge. Freaky ass nigga here, 69 Dodge. Hey, 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 run for your life. Hey, 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 run for your life. Freaky ass nigga here, 69 Dodge.
Yo,
Freaky ass nigga here, 69 Dodge. Hey, 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 run for your life. Hey, 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 run for your life. Let me hear you say OV ho. Say
yo,
OV ho.
imagine you in a club. Like, imagine he doing an appearance at a club, and you got all the joints saying "OV ho." You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all gotta keep it a buck. Imagine you got an appearance. You don't really know the DJ like that. Drake pull up, got his little section. You know what I mean? Lo and behold, the DJ is from East Side Compton or wherever he from, and
Then step this way, step that way, then step this way, step that way. Are you my friend?
yo, it's ugly. It's ugly out here. I'm kind of burnt out over the whole situation, but at the end of the day, I feel that Kendrick won the battle. Numerous of reasons. Of course, we already talked about it. It's not about what was true and what was not. It was about who said it the best, right? That lie that was put out there, cool, was a lie, but who put it in a way where it's musical form that people want to listen to? That's what ended the battle. But I think the bigger picture to unpack tonight is that Kendrick is now being named in a lot of different news articles as the reason why people are getting in fights. There's vandalism going on up in Toronto, all types of weird stuff that's going on. And I really feel that this is getting to a point where we're gonna have to take a step back and hope everything dies out. I also saw some articles and also some other outlets talking about that the executive heads want Kendrick to put a statement out. Very interesting. They want Kendrick to put a statement out and say that Drake is not a pedophile. You get what I'm saying? They want him to put that out. And they saying he ain't trying to hear it. He's not budging. The line's already been crossed by Drake apparently, and he's not doing it. So now we got to ask ourselves, was it worth it? Was it worth it on Drake's end on trying to call the boogeyman out? They tried to call the boogeyman out, and he came out. He represented. He did his thing. He stood up for his city. He stood up for the earthly, moral big steppers out there. You get what I'm saying? And I think Drake did not anticipate this a long shot. He did not anticipate this at all. Not at all. Um, his legacy is definitely at risk. I don't think his body of work will ever be diminished. But when we talk about as a person, people, when we think of people, when we think about our greats, right? When we think about Michael Jordan, when we think about Mike Tyson, when we think about Muhammad Ali, right? There's always little stories we know that is attached to these greats, right? When we think Michael Jordan, what do we think about? Right? We think about the gambling problem, right? We think about his temper and all the stuff they came out after the fact about who he is as a person. Now, when we think about Michael Jackson, what is the negative side of Michael, right? His personal problems, having kids over in pajamas, you know what I'm saying? All of that, right? R. Kelly, amazing artist, but we all know what he's locked up for. So Kendrick strategically found a way to add something to Drake's legacy. He found a way to add it to Drake's legacy, and That is that's not nothing to laugh at. If I was Drake, right? It's on site when I see you, bro. It is on site because being called having those type of accusations is something that you are not trying to be moving around in business with at the end of the day. You're messing up potential money. Not saying Drake don't have enough money, but you eventually messing up future endorsement deals, branding, you know, anything related to kids, you could forget about it. You get what I'm saying? And even if it's not true, it's not true obviously until it's proven. But the point is, it's attached to you. You know what I'm saying? There's some type of subliminals out there that people just not over because of Kendrick. So I just wanted to give my take on a conspiracy that's going on with Kendrick. How is a bigger agenda? There's bigger forces behind what's going on, and I'm really curious how it's going to unpack. Again, shout out to all the different outlets that put out just variations and information on their take. I kind of took a step back and kind of, I wanted to hear what everyone else had to say, but I'm still standing on the fact there's a bigger agenda. Drake pissed off somebody. He pissed off somebody, or he's trying to accomplish something. I was hearing some media outlets saying, like, yo, everyone is just hating on Drake. Everyone is just hating on Drake. That's what everyone is saying. I'm going to put money on this. Y'all going to hear it here first on the JefeTalk podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. I think Drake was exposed to something and now he has information. I think Drake, if anything, has leverage. He has leverage on what he knows. Because now it looks like the higher ups, the bigger people in the industry is trying to either chastise him for maybe threatening them. You get what I'm saying? Right? I saw an article today that he had over 1 million dislikes on his songs or something like that. Right? Stuff we never heard. Like this is a bigger machine behind what's going on with Drake. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I feel that Drake might have information. He's a clever cat. He's a clever dude. He might found the secret file. He might know some executives who might be involved in some stuff. It might be some traces back to Diddy. It might be something. And he probably kind of pulled his card a little bit on his ego, said something he shouldn't have said, and now we starting to see the repercussions when it comes down to tarnishing his career, tarnishing his legacy with the accusations that Kendrick put out. Kendrick could be a pawn for all we know, right? Of course, who we know Kendrick to be entertainment wise, but we don't know that dude for who he is as a person, right? Granted, he's been consistent with how he portrays himself in the limelight, right? So shout out to Kendrick. But again, when we talk about big machines in music industry and billions behind machines, anybody at that point can be a pawn in this game. I feel that Drake has some information that people knows he has, and he tried to threaten people. He tried to threaten people with it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not over no girls. Everybody keeps saying this is about a girl. This is about pillow talking. It's not about that. We got people getting shot at Drake house. Come on. And then they're trying to frame it on a news outlet that it was just a crazy fan who loves Kendrick music. Come on, y'all. We got to use our boss thinking, right? This is Jefe talk, right? We got to use some real analysis here and kind of let's put the pieces together. Now you got people doing drive-bys at Drake house. Who's to say that bullet wasn't for Drake? Right? I don't wish death on nobody, but I promise you that whatever Drake knows, oh yeah, they're trying to create they're trying to chastise him. They're trying to give him a warning. Like, chill out. We could touch you. We touch your bodyguard. We already put you a freaky boy tag on your legacy. You can't go nowhere, and everybody ain't gonna start shouting out OV Ho. You get what I'm saying? So I really believe that he's gonna have to find a way to maneuver out of this. Maybe he need to just, go in a hiatus and chill. But we got to remember, when we look at all our greats, when it came down to big power moves, what took place, right? Now, this is not about who was guilty and who was not. I'm talking about power moves, right? Michael Jackson was trying to buy some catalogs. He was trying to really get his ownership game on, and we know the rest of that story, right? Bill Cosby, I think he was trying to buy CBS, right? We know that story. You get what I'm saying? R. Kelly, nah, bro. He was just reckless. Like, this man recording everything. So we not even gonna put him in the mix, right? But if you always look at our greats trying to do something or potentially have information, and it's not just in the music industry, there's still reports that Princess Diana had some information and they had to get her up out of there respectfully on that whole chase, right? I can give you list after list of very prominent people in entertainment that has been around certain people, knew certain types of people, and had information. And unfortunately, their demise wasn't the ordinary, right? It was either a freak accident or had something to do with drugs, right? Or it was something to really destroy their career. You get what I'm saying? So I'm very curious what is gonna come out of this at the end of the day. I'm very curious if Drake has a good legal. I mean, I'm sure he has a good legal team, but we also got to mesh that with the right PR team, right? I don't think Drake has the advantage on the headlines that we see right now, and that's why I feel there's a bigger machine behind it that's pushing the narrative to where they want it to be and how they want it to be. You get what I'm saying? And I find it very, very frightening on especially inspiring artists, people out there that's trying to get to that level, and it could be literally snatched away from them in a moment of an instant if you just know too much information. I feel that Drake has too much information. He knows the drop on people. He knows what's really going on, and he might be the next target. He might be the next target. They got Diddy up out of there. Diddy got no endorsements. Like, now I'm not saying he broke, but yo, they clipped him so fast. I thought he went to the barbershop, bro. They got him up out of there. And what also see what the industry tends to do, they tend to take real truth, real things, or let's say the skeletons in a closet, and they pin that on them to take away the truth that they know. You see what I'm saying? They take the skeletons, expose the skeletons, so that way it takes any type of attention off of them and make sure it's on that main subject, that main focus. So Diddy probably did have these parties. He did do this. He did do that. But it takes away so much from probably information he has of what he attempted to do. And everybody knows he was trying to sue the parent company um, for his company, Ciroc and all of them, right? So I want you guys to start using your thinking caps. I want you guys, especially if you are in tune, if you're keeping up with what's going on out there, I want you guys to start using your thinking cap on how a lot of our powerful people in entertainment, how they handle them, how they was dealt with, and who's never getting in these situations, right? Never. And I got to be careful what I'm sharing on here. Of course, I'm luckily I'm not at that exposure level yet, but I do see certain outlets just getting muted or somehow they're getting demonetized because they're talking about truth about what's really going on. Because you got to remember, these are all entertainment outlets. What I'm speaking on is an entertainment outlet. right? So if you have big machines, right, and I'm in tech and IT, and I can give you a little bit of insight on how this works, right? You got certain things in place that ping certain words, right? It tracks for words, what you type, what you say, right? They got all these different algorithms designed to pick up certain things that is not allowed, right? Of course, hate speeches and things of that nature on certain platforms, especially YouTube. But I always wondered if the machine starts getting word of certain narratives that's being put out by certain uh very very popular streamers, does that get back to them? You get what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the basic disclaimers that's on YouTube. I'm talking about the things that might be opening up different conspiracies or ideas to potentially find some legs and run with it. You get what I'm saying? So I want to be the first to tell you that I believe there's a big agenda with Drake. I believe he has information, he knows something, and I think these were warning shots. I think the shooting at his home wasn't by mistake. I think the vandalism wasn't by mistake. I think the angle and the advantage Kendrick eventually had over everything wasn't by mistake. The information that was given to Kendrick wasn't by mistake. I think the narrative feeds it right. I think I want to be number one. It sounds good, but what we really talking about? Because if we're pinning these type of accusations or trying to insinuate you into that, it's because there's an agenda behind that. You don't do that for play. This is hip hop. Where anytime in hip hop you ever heard somebody put those type of accusations on them if it wasn't true? You don't play like that. You just don't play like that. You get what I'm saying? You don't play like that. So something is true. I don't care how many times he coming on here or anybody saying, yo, he just making up stuff. Something is true. Because when the word gets out, you got to be able to stand on it. Because now you're gonna look crazy. You're gonna look crazy. And I'm talking about on the back end when them lawsuits start to drop, right? Because this can also fall in the category of defaming, right? Tarnishing my branded name by putting uh these accusations attached to me in a way where you got public perception believing it. That's going to cost him money. Yo, so I'm gonna put a pause button right here. I think as we I think by this Friday or Saturday it's gonna be something else. Mark my words, it's gonna be something else. I just wanted to give my take on what's going on. Again, shout out to my Knicks. Y'all did your thing. Got my FanDuel looking all right. All right, we going to Indiana coming up. So I need I already know Indiana about to be crazy. Them paces ain't no joke, man. It ain't no joke, but I'm looking forward to it. But I want everybody to have a blessed, successful day tomorrow. Remember, this is the JefeTalk podcast. We act, think, and live, right? Act means we take action, think, we analyze, and make sure we have a game plan and we execute at a high level. This is JefeTalk, and I am out.